Hello, welcome to Dishonored. We are continuing our Let's Play of the Dishonored series with this third episode, in which we're going to play the mission The Black Cat. I am joined again by Nea. Hello, Nea.
Everyone, thanks for having me back.
Happy to have you
excited.
back. I am very excited to play through this mission, which is, I think, like, I've played through it in preparation for this, and it is not my favorite. It has some weird things with sex work and this kind of thing, which I'm kind of interested in going. But the good news is that won't happen for a good while, because the bulk of this mission, the bulk of this thing, is going to be just like wandering around and doing stuff before the mission. And I played the mission, and it took me probably like 20 minutes to finish. It's like one of the really shortest missions in a while. And so yeah, I'm keen to go through it, and avoid the end mission as much as possible. Yeah, so I'm gonna jump into it. Okay, this whole going. I'm starting off at the end of this.
Let's get started.
Pick up some mystical rat artifacts. And there's some books that I found when I was like checking around, which is really interesting. Which would you like to read about the most? We have The Royal Spy and Dowd.
I think Dowd. He's a very interesting and knowledge character.
Dowd is cool.
Good backstory for later on too.
So this one, I read through it before. It's kind of long, but it's fucking great writing. And I think it's honestly worth having a read through, even though, Jesus, look at it. Do you want to start reading, or shall I?
You can do it. You can do the first one.
This is the
long
one.
stream after all.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Excerpt from an overseer's covert field report. For over a year now, I have lived away from the Abbey, without the company of my overseer brethren or the guidance of the blind sisters of the oracular order. Days have passed with me sleeping in the dens of cut-pursers, murderers, and worse, and the nights have seen me prowling through the worst alleys and wretched corners of Dunwall. I have taken my meals with killers. At times I have ventured beyond the city walls, meeting in forgotten graveyards and the outlying ruins featured by those of ill means. 2 seconds, I'm going to check to make sure everything's okay. Yes. My beard has grown long, and I wear the weathered clothing and bits of boiled leather favored by the Bottle Street and Hatter gangs, and by those rough men and women who make their trade knifing others in return for coin. My hands have run red with blood, it's true, but I have selected my targets with care, choosing them among those criminals and heretics who were not fit to live, executing them justly, and using their deaths as a means of building my reputation. So far, this trick has allowed me to make my name among my murderous colleagues without taking the lives of the innocent. My goal is singular. I must impress the assassin named Dowd in order to get close to him. How fucking cool is this? This is the first mention of Dowd in this letter, and it's just like, this is just an overseer just like doing weird shit, like murdering people to do this. This is cool. Of all the practitioners of black magic we have tracked, none concern the Abbey as much as Dowd. It is said that his mother was a witch from one of the archipelagos off the Pandician coast, taken captive by pirates venturing far from the Isles. According to the legend, by the time the ship returned, the captain was dead and the witch controlled the crew, with Dowd still a shadow in her belly. The earliest stories tell of a gang killer without mercy, moving among the shopkeepers and city watch officers of Dunwall like a reaper through wheat. Then a period of silence followed. Years we now believe he spent traveling the Isles, studying anatomy and the occult in the great halls of learning and the hidden basements frequented by fellow dabblers in the forbidden arts. Dowd is even purported to have spent a winter in the Academy of Natural Philosophy itself. For a time before this schism developed, he counted the Brigmore witches among his allies, which is important because we're going to come across the Brigmore witches later. All the while, he honed his craft, and it is during this time that we believe he began to consort with the outsider. New reports emerged, of a dusky-skinned assassin paid by the elite to eliminate their rivals in Dunwall, and in the other major cities across the Isles. Those who saw him and lived numbered in the handful, and all of them reported something strange. He appeared and vanished like smoke. From a nearby rooftop, he gestured, and a noble woman stumbled from a balcony, falling to her doom on the cobblestones below. More recently, as this new threat of plague has risen in Dunwall, Dowd has been seen leading a gang of men in dark leather, dressed as factory whalers in their vapor masks. They seem loyal beyond comprehension for one so unworthy, leading me to wonder if some of his magic is dedicated to lulling their minds, enslaving them. Only a month ago, one young girl claims to have come upon a strange scene. Carrying a bottle of milk home to a crippled brother, she was taking a shortcut through the tailor's district. In a narrow street, she passed beneath a window and heard unusual sounds from within. Pushing aside the ratty curtain, the girl saw into an abandoned apartment used by miscreants for gambling and for trading habberweed. An occult shrine had been erected against the far wall, which she recognizes from the teachers given to her by her local overseer. A man she described as resembling Dowd was kneeling before the shrine, muttering to an unseen spirit as if in argument. He took out a carving made of pale bone from the altar before him, and the lights all went out in a gush of unclean wind. Quiet as a field mouse. She slipped away, running until she reached her home. There can be no doubt. Dowd is an agent of the outsider and must die, for there is no limit to the evil this man might do. This is my solemn oath and the great purpose of my life. Until Dowd is dead, I'm guessing, and his corruption has been purged from the world, I will continue to move among the depraved, winding my way toward him. I will not drop my guise or don my overseer's marks again until Dowd breathes no more. Which is like, hey, this is the assassin. He is up to shit. He is doing things, and he also is working for the person that, like, he's working for the outsider who also hired us. So, like, what is the outsider up to? I have no idea, but it's really cool.
It's such an interesting little tidbit of backstory for him, because if you don't read those books, like, you miss out on a whole bunch of his, like, personality there.
Yeah, like, his mother was a witch.
You find out that he went to, like, the Natural Science Academy and stuff. Like, he's not just, like, a villain for Corvo to fight. He's a very layered character.
Which is, like, it's such an interesting thing, and this is, like, a person we've only seen, like, a little bit. And there's so much lore that it adds. Like, we know what the people who work for him look like. They're, like, wearing weird vapor masks or something. And so if we encounter them, we'll be like, okay, that's who they are. Which I think we've seen before, but it's like, it's cool to know that that's their whole deal. And
exactly.
I'm just so excited. Like, I was reading that in preparation and just being like, this is incredible. Like, this is good writing that I almost skipped, and I'm just like, I gotta focus on that. So yeah, I'm gonna have a sip of water, and would you like to read The Royal Spy?
Yes, I can do that.
In
no
a voice.
Accents this time.
Oh no? Okay.
Oh, in a voice?
Do what you like.
Okay. Alright, hang on, it's a little blurry. It's just loading now. Okay, excerpt from the personal memoirs of Hiram Burrows, dated several years earlier. This is the 4th day, month of high cold. Progress continues on the suppression of gang activity in the distillery district, but more slowly than I had expected. The ruffians operating there have been cunning, I'll grant them that, but it's only a matter of time. I'll see their leaders flogged in public and sent beneath the royal executioner's blade. If I had my way, that mute bastard would be working night and day, removing the heads that need removing. Internally, the Empress does not seem pleased with my investigations. It seems that it is beyond her thinking, against her very nature, as a trusting person, to believe that traitors move among us. But I know they do. They must.
Hold on.
No. Jessamine would rather spend her time with the Royal Protector. At least he's likely to stop any immediate threat to her safety. But a strong arm is not what's needed against those who would undermine us. How will Corvo's sword stop a poisoned wineglass or an explosive delivered by courier? It will not. There are many threats around us. Threats requiring meticulous efforts to police. Young Lady Emily is undisciplined, I'm afraid. Here within Dunwall Tower, she receives instruction from the finest tutors known in the Isles, Yet her mother spoils her and spends most of her time lost in imagination, wasting her time drawing or asking Corvo to teach her to fight with wooden sticks. The girl might rule the Empire someday. Every moment spent at play is a moment wasted. She's allowed to be a kid.
I know. Like spoilers, but we meet Emily and she is like incredible. Like she's her characterization is really cool in this. It's one of the bits that I like the most. But yeah. And
shoring up security. Oh, sorry.
You go.
Okay.
I'll scroll down.
Shoring up security for the main gate leading into Dunwall Tower has been another pet project of late. To think that back in his day, Emperor Colburn left it open to the public during the day, allowing anyone to come and go as they pleased. If it were up to me, I'd seal off access to the streets entirely, but the Empress won't hear of it. The waterlock is much easier to protect, and if it were the only way into the tower, traffic in and out would be greatly reduced. Someday the wrong person is going to slip in and will suffer for it. Mark my words. No amount of security is excessive when it comes to protecting the heads of state. The Empress also disapproves of my plans for Sokolov devices. Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. This wall of light he's been tinkering with has promise. In any case, at least I was able to convince the Empress to upgrade the pistols carried by the officers of the Watch. Why do I worry so when no one else seems to care? If I ever fall asleep, will it all sink into the ocean? Will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? This is what I see in the same dream several times each month. If only I had more say in things, more authority, I could protect us all. Perhaps I've been working too hard. Dinner and an evening of conversation with a certain lady of refinement might be in order, perhaps somewhere nice in the estate district. Hiram Burrows, Royal Spy Master.
It's so interesting. Cool. It's like, it's so interesting because he's just like, there's so many dangers. And anyone could just come in and kill people. It's so easy to do that. And then he just does it. Yeah. So he like prevents bad things from happening. And just like, what?
It's interesting because it feels like he sees like the Coldwind Empire as something at risk, but you know, Jessamine's father was happy to let people come in up to the castle.
Yeah, I don't know if he died. I think he might have just like died of like sickness or something, but
so
I don't know his deal. But yeah, I love that, and I love like little things like, will the rough things clamber over the walls and fill themselves on our flesh? That's just like him talking about poor people or something, or about like this is like previous to the plague, I think. So this is just poor people, and he's just like, I'm so scared about doing that. I'm doing this, and like, I love it. It's so interesting. It also like mentions a certain lady of refinement, who we're going to meet later in the game, and like Sokolov being like, Sokolov himself has no interest in security, of course, but he's vain and therefore keen to see his inventions deployed in any fashion. He just doesn't care. He just like, I like making things. It's so cool. I read these. I'm like, we have to go through them. I think there's a last book, but I don't know if this one was. Yes, this one's actually really good.
Very good choice.
So let's go. I'll read through this one.
We'll do an accent for the following ones.
Okay, we'll do this. So we're going to do a bunch of reading to start off with, people in chat. But these stories are so good. This is just like so much fun. Okay. I'll read this one. I don't think I'll do an accent because it's going to be difficult enough to read this all by myself. Alright, I'm going to sip of water. I'm going to jump into it.
Alright, well, next time we find the smaller one, we will be doing accents. We've got to keep
we absolutely have
we
to.
Started
I like it.
Stream.
Even though this one has good accent potential in it. Like, you want the chin wag on slack jaw. Like, that's pretty cool. This person has character. Okay. Early life in criminal record, Slackjaw. Excerpt from a series of letters sent by a member of the Bottle Street Gang. You want the chin wag on Slackjaw? What he was like when he was young, before he got his name? Oh, he's got a cool head now, but it weren't always like that in the days before he was the boss of the Bottle Street Gang. Time was, young Slackjaw wasn't such a reasonable man. Like most of us, he grew up on the streets, running with a pack of ragamuffins and avoiding the law, pinching whatever he needed. Dark-haired and dark-eyed, smoking a pipe by the age of 10. For them born into the brothels or coming from the orphanage, it was either the gangs or working with the mudlarks. And no one wants that. Fun fact about mudlarks, I heard this in a podcast recently. They were just like, mudlarks were people who used to go into like in London or something, used to like walk along like riverbanks and just like look for like old treasures and stuff. They were like people who like the equivalent of people who had like metal detectors, and they just like walk over there.
Scavengers.
Yeah, but they were just like it was a lark thing because it was just what they did in their free time. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this for a laugh. I'm gonna go through the mud, go through this, and that's what they did. It wasn't like they weren't like weird, creepy people who just like pick through the mud for their living. It was just like, oh, I have a free afternoon. I'm gonna go search through this, see what I find, maybe some old Roman coins or something. And so that's cool. Although this depiction of like mudlarks as these weird people is really cool too. But yeah, that's some history. Anyway, some got pressed into the Navy or put down in the mines run by the Pendleton or Boyle families, which we're also going to get into. As hard as it was in the streets, as hungry as we all got, at least we was free. By the time we weren't little uns anymore, Slackjaw was one to watch, usually calling the shots when we took down a farmer's cart or a sidewalk street vendor. He'd come up with a plan, give everyone some part to play, and decide on the split. Most of us just went along, because we learned fast that we made out better like that. More food, more coin, plus none of us wanted to deal with Slackjaw when he was in a rage. He worked on a couple big jobs with Black Sally across town, and that was enough to get the attention of the other bosses. He wasn't just a street kid anymore. Now he's an up-and-comer, which meant trouble. Another guy who fancied himself as such was Mike the Fish, who was working his way up running the protection racket among the factory women. One fine evening, we're all taking in a bawdy show in a theatre house. Mike the Fish and his lot are there in the cheap seats too, just down the aisle from us. Mike gets a wild idea. He wasn't big on planning, and throws a heavy ceramic spittoon at Slackjaw. Hits him square in the face and breaks his jaw. We look to see if there's going to be a blood brawl, but Slackjaw just points at the door and we all leave, with Mike laughing at our backs. Waking up the next day without telling us why, Slackjaw motions for us all to follow. He still can't say a word, so we just come along. We stop at the docks and Slackjaw actually pays coin for it, a heavy chain covered in hooks. It's for fishing in the deep, something you'd attach to a long line off the side of a ship. It's about 4 feet, made of thick links, and there are shark hooks coming off of it at different angles. Slackjaw got that thing wrapped around his left arm, dangling at his side. Not sure how he knew where Mike the Fish was staying, but when we reach his girl's house, Slackjaw throws a bottle through the window, just like that. It's almost noon. There's a bunch of screaming inside, and Mike pokes his head out, looking wide-eyed and baffled. Then he sees Slackjaw out there in the street. A look comes across his face that still gives me the willies. Pure murder. Mike comes out of the door, bellowing like a blood ox, holding a cleaver, heading straight for Slackjaw. When they come together in the street, Slackjaw spins and the shark hooks bite deep into Mike's arm and shoulder. He screams, but Slackjaw holds on to the chain. He's standing there with his jaw broken, clenched tight, with a chain wrapped around his left arm, hook sunk into Mike the Fish, just knifing him as fast as he can. Mike couldn't fight very well, hooked like that, and using his left hand, but he was a big guy and took a lot of stabbing before he went down to his knees. Everyone was cheering at first, but then we all went quiet. It just kept going and going until finally it was just Mike the Fish, blubbering, crying like a baby, and the sound of Slackjaw's knife. Then it was over. And here's the brilliant part. Slackjaw took out a note and stuck it to Mike's face with a nail. It just said, "If you want a job, come to Bottle Street." Slackjaw didn't talk right for a couple months, but word spread fast. By the end of the year, once we had a sizable gang going, he sent out letters to the other bosses, telling them that he was running a brand new crew over in Bottle Street. Most of them laughed or beat up the guys who delivered the letters. Green-eyed Trish even came back missing a thumb. But apparently Slackjaw was expecting that kind of reaction and had a backup plan. A week later, 4 of the bosses were dead. It seemed like a series of unfortunate events, but everyone knew better. One shot dead by the watch while standing in the middle of a meat market, another slipping and falling to the water out cold. One of the older bosses found in bed with his belly open wide and a Tivian pear stuffed in his mouth. Still not sure what that one meant, and Sheila Barnsworth was found blubbering in a cauldron of hot wax. Slackjaw sent out another set of letters, offers to the underbosses, telling them they'd be treated as fair as peers. He even sent Green-Eyed Trish with one of his letters. All the underbosses accepted. After spilling the guts of his main competition, Slackjaw went in for stabilizing his business, real neat-like, calling in favors, soothing things over, giving everyone a little bit of coin or drink as a bonus, showing what he could be like as boss. So everything got quiet, which always makes the boys of the city watch nervous, of course. Word went out among the Royal Spy Master Snitches, the responsible citizens group they called themselves, telling everyone working a shop was sweeping off the front of the steps of their homes to keep watchful eyes for Slackjaw and his men, trying to suss out what they were up to and what had just happened. But Slackjaw ain't stupid. He greased a few palms among the shopkeepers in the watch too, telling them that he was in town to stay, that things would be run properly from now on, without so much blood. He was finally a real boss, ready to settle into the business of moving whiskey, running hound fights, and offering up the ladies and the gentlemen of the night, if you take my meaning. Then the plague came. At first, it seemed like a good thing. A few people got sick, and everyone wanted to buy those potions from Sokolov of Piero. Health elixir, or spiritual remedy, they call them. Slackjaw told me he saw an opportunity. We already had an old whiskey factory with a sill where we could water the stuff down and sell it discounted. Doing the same with Sokolov's elixir was a smart plan. Pretty soon everyone in the slums was sick and business was good, but after a while there were so many people down with plague that everyone got scared. Everyone started acting real nasty and everything fell apart. When people can't work, they don't have the coin for elixir, watered down or pure. When the Empress died, it seemed like Dunwall would slide into the void. Spymaster Burrows took over and the watch started using all that new Sokolov technology. Watchtowers, tall boys, and them arc pylons. They put in a wall of light across Clavering Boulevard and cracked down hard. But Slackjaw surprises again. Instead of leaving town on a boat bound for Morley or one of the other isles, he stayed, kept it all together. We get as much elixir to fight off the plague as the City Watch, with their taxes and rations, and that's kept us alive so far. Crowley, Bottle Street Gang. So that's Slackjaw. Big long bit of text, but some interesting backstory. We sort of get an idea of what he's up to with his business and with making the elixirs and so forth, and about the kind of shit he does, which is wild. So yeah, that being kept in mind, let us
time for bed.
Time for bed. I'll go to sleep now. So, apologies for all the reading, but man, that was interesting. I love that. It's my favorite shit. So now we're just gonna go through the Hound Pits pub and see how everyone's going. Catch up with everybody. Hear the gossip. And I'm gonna try and use the heart more than I have been doing. And so we can hear some secrets. And I'm excited for it. So you said you off stream that you basically played the mission before this?
I did, yeah. After we played it last time, I went through and just had a little fun. Took a different route.
Yeah.
Explored all the ways I could encounter people and not get seen.
Yeah. And you did a full ghost mission, unlike what we did.
I did, yeah. But, it's not exactly easy, so I cheated a little bit.
We saved some. Yep.
Yeah. I know. Terrible gamer etiquette.
Yeah.
I'm not streaming to people, so I don't have to be a good gamer.
I know, and I still save scum when I am streaming anyway. Okay. So, Overseers undone. Martin is on the way to join the Loyalists, and Campbell's fate is throwing the Overseers into disarray. Decoding the High Overseer's journal may reveal any number of strategic secrets, most notably the location of the rightful heir to the throne, Emily Colvin. So, Okay, so yes, the goal now is to basically meet up with people, but I want to have a wander and like say hi to people. First up, whoever's down these stairs. Okay. So this is Pendleton's room. He has a phonograph which talks about his brothers tormenting him and so forth. I'm not going to read it. It wasn't really that interesting when I went through it. This is basically, to sum up briefly, a note between Lord Pendleton, and his sister. His cousin, sorry. Where they basically talk about how his twin brothers, are voting to... What is this? So basically what's happening is the Lord Regent is going to start like threatening the rich, and then they're going to be like voting to let the Lord Regent do that. And so Lord Pendleton wants to basically kill them as a result. And so that's basically what's happening there. Yeah. This is a random room. Nothing too interesting here. It's Havoc stuff. And some peeps.
You're lucky I keep you on. It is every citizen's duty
This place
to
would fall
report
apart in
prisoners'
10 minutes
speech
without
and
me.
actions. The state depends on you.
In any case, you can't dismiss me. I went through the books this morning and found 5 mistakes you've made.
Very well.
You're lucky I found them before the Admiral did.
Okay. This.
I like how he just leans back against the wall after getting yelled at.
Yeah, he's just like, he's all Corvo, like, yeah, whatever. It's all chill.
Yeah, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna stay here and lean.
Plague spreads fast.
Yeah. The thing I liked about that, like, little interaction is that, like...
My master had a very fitful night.
Hold on.
No one sleeps well here.
So that line I really like, because I have many thoughts. So, oh, Jesus.
When they come to get me, they'll be surprised. I've held a sword before, believe it or not.
This man has so many weird lines, you're just like, what? Who are you? I'm gonna be way through it and speak. So first of all, he says, So first of all, he says his master as a good knight. That's Pendleton, which makes me think that like the outsider has nothing to do with him or something. And so I'm just like, why doesn't the outsider have any interest in Pendleton? I don't really know, but I'm like, that's interesting. And apparently Wallace has like swords and stuff, and that's pretty cool. So hello, Halcyon.
Please pardon the untidiness of the room. I will tend to it shortly.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Jump down here. Here's another fun interaction.
I know the Golden Cat, not as a patron, mind you. I designed some specialized devices for the ring. Kept blueprints, if anyone is curious.
Don't. I brought you tea as a courtesy to a colleague. I won't make that mistake in the future.
I'm sorry, I only thought... Never mind what I thought. Thank you for the tea.
I have to get back to the Admiral. He has news for me.
So there's basically like 2 interactions with men like kind of being dicks to women, essentially, which is a fun introduction to what this mission is going to be.
I think if you go follow Callista, she'll have like her actual chat with Havoc.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed
That's what happened
that
last time I played, but I could be wrong. I don't know if it happens now, but
Where'd she go?
might be off.
I had a talk with her, and she
So
talks
you've
about
spoken to
basically manners and so forth. And she also like stays in his room, I noticed, and I thought that was kind of interesting. Like there is in Havelock's room, there is a book on naval history and so forth, and there is a book on whaling. Like I think if I go here, I'll find her. Like here, this is Havelock's room. Here's Havelock's journal, and on one side of the bed there's a gaffer's tale, which is about whalers and so forth, and about like the history of a whaler who joins excitedly as the whale industry starts off, and then eventually turns kind of crappy when you get to like this one when he's like an old man and the whaling industry's dying. And then there's the Admiralty book, but I'll say hi to her.
Master Piero has a great deal to learn in some areas.
Which is like, what happened in that interaction?
You mean between her and Piero?
Yeah.
Some other lady.
So he was talking about how he's just like designed some of the machines at the Golden Cat,
I might even
and not to spoil,
stares at me. I don't even think he's aware of it.
Yeah.
not to spoil anything, but some of the objects that you see in the Golden Cat, she's disgusted by, and he's basically saying, "I've made them."
Yeah. Which is like,
So I think she's just a bit repulsed by his behavior.
yeah. And she just said then like, he has yet to understand that she is not one of his machines or something, gonna be tinkered with in that way, which is like one of the things
Pretty dark observation from her as well.
Yeah, absolutely, considering like the whole context of this mission and what's going on. And it's like it's also sort of indicating that the people who wrote this mission, which is like, you know, going to touch on like sex work and all these kind of things, also BDSM in a weird way that happens at one point. It's like they're actually engaging with these ideas, and they're like at least giving like voice to women who are like talking about this. Like we had the interaction with him, and he was just like talking down to this woman. She was like, "I did my job better than you. Here is some ways you made mistakes." And Piero shows himself to be a creep, and it's kind of interesting. So I like that at least.
Yeah, it's interesting because Wallace seems to take on like his like Pendleton's power as his own. Like, I could get you fired. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like he's really like, I feel like he's like a member of the upper class in some way. Like he's basically like talks about like is like loyal to Pendleton and so forth, but like is very upper class in his way of doing things. There's also like a really weird thing with like the Heart, is that like if you talk to him, he spies on his neighbors and reports to the overseers. Somewhere in the basements below, a hound kills hound and money changes hands, which isn't relevant to him. But after a long day of work, he'll return to his home and his family. Just a note, all of these lines are just for like the default civilian.
Generic.
But
Yeah.
it adds so much weird things to this thing. Like, it's an odd one. But yeah, I also want to go see this room up here because it's interesting to me. Let's say hi to Piero quickly. Then I want to see something else.
Corvo, my friend, do you need ammunition, weaponry? Would you like me to craft something for you?
No. I thought he had something to say. I want to check out this room. Oh, where the fuck am I going? Now this is currently just a nondescript room, but in future it'll become a thing. There's a couple of things in here. Like one thing I really wanted to point out is that there is this book, which is Calls to the Spheres, which I skimmed through before, and it's basically like a science fiction thing. And I read through it, and it's like Jules Verne type nonsense, where like they go to explore the spheres, which is like other worlds inside the void, And I noticed this. I'm like, this is just the coolest thing. And there's like an overseer leading them as they fly through the sky. And I'm like, that's just cool. Yeah, I just want to note that for some reason. And there's also a thing over here, which talks about like the overseers and how they were taken as children and made into something. Which I guess, like, I'm gonna spoil this just because it adds some interesting context. Is that this later becomes the room of Emily Caldwin, and she has this book about like being taken as a child and made into something for the overseers. Like the overseers get taken as to form a specific thing, and I'm like, this is interesting environmental storytelling, even if we haven't encountered this person yet and the situation yet.
I personally don't think it's too much of a spoiler. You'll be seeing her later on.
Yeah, like
soon.
At the end of this mission, but
yeah.
Spoiler: we get to find Emily and we can get her out of that, and that works. Yeah. I gotta figure out how I feel about actual spoilers, because I'm just like, here is some cool context that this game is adding. Which, like, it might just be here because like they didn't want to like redo the room several times, but it's kind of interesting. All right, let's go talk to these bunch.
Hello, Corvo. I expect Martin will be joining us shortly. I hate to start your day with such a strange matter, but the servants heard something last night, moving through the storm drains beneath the building. Most likely a weeper. Poor bastard. There's no hope for them once the plague gets that far along. Nothing more than a shuffling corpse full of sickness and insects, if you ask me. I'd appreciate you investigating, just to be sure it's not a nosy guardsman that's getting too close. Here's a key to the hatches. I tend to serve it down there, but they die of fear on the spot, I'm afraid. Maybe Piero can concoct some sort of sleep poison for your crossbow if you want to go that way.
Which is cool, like just a standard mission. Let's see what's down there. Hold on. But I was listening to like the Heart say some things, and like the Heart says there's like one thing about like some weird deal. Deals are made here, sometimes under the influence of wine, sometimes under the influence of the point of a knife. That's not the one yet. Hold on. So I won't be able to find it immediately, but basically what it is that like, come on. They stood in a circle around the candles and cut their hands to form their alliance. The blood hissed as it touched the flames. The conspirators found a safe home there. They took great care that they are not followed. So there's like shit going on where like the conspirators are apparently like doing some weird like blood pact thing and like concealing like what's going on here. I think if I continue listening, they like talk about there's like servants who escaped and this kind of thing, and it's just like I think that they summoned like the outsider to do their weird mission, like to take down the like to try and like rescue Emily and such. And I just think that's really cool.
Ah, hello, Corvo. They're in-person weavers, roaming all over the city.
And yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna go down here and check out what's going on, and mess with it, I guess.
Good. Doing this part always made me super anxious the first time I did it.
I hated it. Probably just use this. Where am I going? So they actually like do this in a weird way. Okay, I think that's taken care of. I think there's only 2 of them. But like, yeah, just random people here. I'm sorry, but I won't be here for the next meeting, or ever again for that matter. What happened here was unnatural and makes me sick to recall. I left left the result of our labors here for you to keep, and I expect the rats will consume it before you return. Goodbye. And that's called an ancient note. And it's like what I think happened is like these people were just like here doing weird rituals, and I think the conspirators were like somehow involved or something. That might be just me reading too much into it, but I'm just like, what's going on? And that's cool.
I don't think you're reading too much into it. I think the presence of the runes is a good tell.
Yeah, but like, are the other conspirators involved directly? Is that what's going on? And they just like and like Havoc is just like, oh, I heard there's a disturbance in this sewer. Halcyon says Twitch is being particularly uncooperative today. I'm having some things saying that like frames have been dropping and this kind of thing. Not sure what much I can do about that. Keep me updated on this. Because I've been having like a bunch of issues here and there, but not much I can do. Might close some windows. But yeah, I'm like, is this Havelock like tidying up loose ends, or, like knocking people out and like having them be taken out? Which would be kind of interesting. Oh, oops. Wrong way.
You went down there in the sewers? I thought I heard a weeper in there earlier. You're probably the bravest man I've ever met. Overseer Martin has arrived. He's with Admiral Havelock now. They want to talk to you.
And it's just wild that they just left me here. Yeah. Okay.
They're probably like assured that you could handle some weepers after sneaking into the Overseer compound.
Yeah, I guess, because they have like really lots of confidence in me, but I'm like, what if they just left me to die with them and then I'm just dealt with? But that doesn't make any sense. Because I'm like their hired assassin or whatever. So yeah.
Corvo, I trust you remember Martin, an overseer before and perhaps again someday soon.
I owe you thanks for my rescue.
Indeed, you've given us a glimmer of hope, Corvo. Because we've gotten what we've wanted from Campbell's journal. You've done it. We know where Emily Caldwell is being held.
The Golden Cat, of all places. A bathhouse for aristocrats. Little better than a cursed brothel.
But there's an unfortunate twist. It appears that Pendleton's own kinsmen stand in our way. The twins, Morgan and Custis. Not only are they controlling Emily, but they have the controlling parliamentary votes we so desperately need.
Yes, the Pendletons have to die. But most importantly, Emily must be brought here safely so we can protect her until the Lord Regent and his entourage have been dealt with. Pendleton's waiting for you on the dock. He's asked to brief you personally. I think it's best.
So yeah.
If I were years younger, I'd be doing your job myself. Don't think I couldn't. I used to climb that rigging like a monkey.
What a weird thing to say. Let's say hi to Pendleton.
Feeling an attic is cool, they can double jump.
Yeah. When I was a boy, I could double jump. Like a monkey. You know how monkeys do? It's wild.
Corvo, I've asked to speak to you myself. You see, I'm sending you to kill my older brothers, Morgan and Custis. They're horrible men. It's true, as you may have heard, cruel beyond words. Further, my brothers are close allies to the Lord Regent, and as long as they are in Parliament, we cannot gather the votes we'll need to stop the Lord Regent from further consolidating his power. These days, they're best known for exploiting their favor with him to cheat others out of their wealth. Let's just say that not every family evicted in quarantine for having the plague actually has the plague. I warned my brothers in every way I could. I really did. But they never did listen to me. They'll be at the Golden Cat tonight at their usual revels. They'll be protected by the City Watch, so it'll be dangerous. Now go. Please do it before I change my mind.
I like that he got drunk twice. Well, he drank like 2 sips of alcohol in that conversation.
I suppose you need to build up the nerve to kill your brothers.
He's not doing it though. Halcyon says, "Hey, multiple groups can be on." Oops, sorry, Samuel. Hey, multiple groups can be involved in weird shit at the same time. They don't need to be connected. Yeah.
Halcyon's not wrong.
Maybe. I like to see it.
Goldridge Prison, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
I'll take you to the Golden Cat when you're ready. I've taken Lord Pendleton enough times, believe me.
Alright, Samuel, let's go look for Emily.
That was an expose.
What was an expose?
Samuel being like, "Oh, I've taken Lord Pendleton heaps of times."
Oh yeah, I completely blanked that. I actually made a note of that when I first heard that. I'm just like, yeah. Like, Pendleton is, like, just the same as his brothers in a lot of ways. Like, I used the heart on him a bunch of times, and it just sort of said, like, oh, Pendleton just owns a whole bunch of slaves. That's just a thing that Pendleton has. And I'm like, And with his brothers gone, he's just going to get all that power and just, like, do more slaving stuff. And so it's just like, I really don't like Pendleton. Like, in spite of being bullied or whatever. And he just goes to the Silver Cat at the same time, which, like, it's no bad thing to meet Sarah Close.
As I can to the Golden Cat, Corvo. You'll have to go the rest of the way on your own. The entrance is near Holker Square. The main thing is to make sure that little girl, Emily, gets back all safe and sure. Them 2 Pendletons are there, so I'm guessing there'll be a lot of guards. Slackjaw might have some ideas on helping you get inside the cat, if he don't kill you. This here's his territory. He and his Bottle Street gang hole up at the old Dunwall whiskey factory. They sell the elixir that folks use to fight off the plague. I'll lay low, but keep an eye out for you and the little lady you bring back. Good luck to you. I know Emily must mean a lot to you.
I like how Samuel, like,
Careful going up the street, Corvo. A river hand I know pulled up alongside me last night and said there's one of those watchtowers on Clavering now. I guess you getting rid of Campbell shook up the Lord Regent.
so Samuel explains to me how the elixir thing works, but I'm like, I've already read the novel. Don't worry, Samuel. Okay. Chaos. Your actions affect the city. A high number of deaths result in more rats and weepers. Different reactions from your allies and darker final outcomes. It's kind of interesting that this happens. Halcyon says it happens every few minutes or so, stops for a few seconds, then resumes. This seems to continue from the same spot, meaning the stream delay keeps growing. Yes. So I'm gonna try and turn off all these things. I think my internet's just not very good. It's basically prime time where I am, and that's sort of affecting the general internet. I'm closing everything that might be using it as best I can. But we shall see.
Yeah, I second that. Discord's a little bit laggy sometimes, it goes a bit pixelated and eventually catches up. So.
I think it's like a combination between.
It is Friday night here in Australia, so
yeah,
everyone will be streaming, watching, playing. So
I might if I bump the quality of the share screen down to this, is it bad?
no, I think it's okay actually.
Okay, I've just changed it.
Anything.
Let me know if it goes really bad, but I'm gonna turn on the quality of that one so it doesn't affect it as much.
Oh, good.
But anyway, so Chaos thinks is gonna happen, and maybe I shouldn't kill people as much.
Or we should kill everyone, so there's no one left to experience the evil you've caused.
No more enemies. So the first time I played this, I thought that I was the result of this, but it doesn't matter. Like, people keep getting blown up every time, no matter what you do. So it's just
you
like,
just felt really bad. You're like, I have to save
I was like I was so clumsy my first time playing, because I'm just like, I don't know how to play this really well. Like, accidentally like just got caught up in stabbing people, and I'm like, then this bridge thing happened, but no matter what, it'll happen. So that's kind of sad. See? Non-lethal. Also, here's a note. So remember when we were reading about like how so the technology kind of changed under the new Lord Regent, and how there's like new towers and stuff? Check this shit out. This guy has a mask. Like, has a full-on pandemic mask.
See, if the city guard can wear them, so can everyone else.
Yeah, right? Take that, world. But yeah, I just like I never noticed that detail before, that they just like have these masks on to like go about their daily lives, and it's just so weird and interesting. And it's like, that's probably like a really cool idea, that like the Lord Regent is actually like caring about the safety of his cops. Okay, I'm gonna try and deactivate this without it noticing me. Going to try do this. Come on, I don't want to die. All is well, all is well, all is well.
Oh, run away, run away. Oh.
This went way better last time. I'm like a monkey. I haven't lost that much health though. All is well. Nice mask. Oh, come on. Oh no. My actions have consequences. Oh, not what I meant to do. I don't have any health. Let's take this one out. Fuck. Ow. So this is typical stream stuff. Like, I went through this before and it was so easy.
Yeah, but you weren't streaming then, so...
I wasn't streaming.
You are having a conversation with me, talking to, you know, the chat, dealing with exploding electric towers.
Yeah. You know, regular shit. Like, before I just, like, came in, I saw this thing, and I'm like, oh, this is easy, I'll just deactivate it. And that was just the easiest thing in the whole world. But... where is everybody else? Okay. Let's see if we can find some health potions. Yes. Official guard reports. Given the recent attempt on Captain Jeff Cornell's life near Holger's Square, a new watchtower has been authorized to secure the area. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Steal that, steal that, steal that. Okay, so that's that outpost just dealt with really quickly. Like, in spite of all the mess that I just went through, it was pretty easy to take that down.
Should we pop by and see if Granny Rags is in?
Yeah. Now, you're gonna have to help me again.
Mm-hmm. So where do you want to go?
Where is she?
To your right.
To my right?
That's where her old apartment was, just
Yeah?
behind you. Yeah, there. It's boarded up. She's disappeared.
Ooh, curious. Where is she?
Oh my god, she's
Maybe?
gone.
Maybe I'll just jump up here. Try and get out that way. Nope. Oh, worth a try.
Taking any gentlemen visitors today?
No.
I like how there's that guy's like, yeah, you're who I want to talk to, and then you just start jumping away.
Like, I'm very busy.
Good day too, sir.
Whole town's gone to trash.
Cool rings.
Look out for the watch. They got no respect for laws.
That's very cool.
Name, Sug.
Hungry? Well, don't eat river crust. It'll make you sick as a bucket.
What the fuck? Who are you?
That him? Yeah. If you're looking for Slackjaw, he's in the distillery.
Oh.
Go on. Slackjaw's inside.
People are really chill about me. I forgot exactly what I did to speak with Slackjaw.
Blow off, Chopper.
But there's also a thing I want to pick up. Some bone charms. Let's go check them out. Aha! Who is this? So these are a bunch of Dowd's men who've turned up, which is fun.
Uh-oh.
I don't know who that is, though. Oh, I'm not crouching. All is well, friend. Where's the bloody window? Okay, there is the window. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ow! Cool. Nate, drop point is changed. Leave it in the shitter under the bridge. If the elixir ain't there, you don't get paid. So here's a bunch of Dowd's assassin just hanging out here. And it says Bottle Street Gang. So I think they're gonna like kill the Bottle Street Gang. It's unclear. It's a random shrine. So I came across this before and I was like, what is the deal here? And I honestly don't know. Like, what are these guys doing here? What are they up to? Are they going to kill Granny Rags? Are they going to kill Slackjaw? I have no idea. Are they just doing like ritual stuff?
Recon for Dowd, maybe.
Could be. I also had a thing before where like I killed one of them and they fell in the street, and then a bunch of rats appeared out of nowhere to like eat the bodies as they want to do, and then I ran back to see where they came from, and I found this guy. Like Griff was just standing here, and I'm like, Griff, what are you doing here? What are you up to? And I'm like, is Griff
the source of the plague?
Is Griff a sorcerer? Is that what's going on here?
Want to look at some of the things I found?
I don't want to see the things you've found, Griff. Buy some sleep darts. I need those because I bought a lot. Yeah. I think, like, to some extent, my theories are just, like, Like, everyone is like a weird person in some regard.
I mean, it's not too far-fetched to think everyone in Dunwall is weird.
Yeah, I think that's a fair. That's world building. That's what that is. Okay. So I'm gonna go speak to Slackjaw and see how he's going. And this is gonna be our first interaction with Slackjaw, except for like, I think when he tried to kill us or something, like when we just like snuck in, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit you," and we were like, "No," and we left.
I think whatever you did worked. Halcyon said that this
Yeah.
stream's been stable.
I just saw that too. I think I just like knocked down the quality of it. It has said I've had 8 issues in the past like couple minutes or something. So like I'm dropping like 60% frames or something. I don't know. But we'll see how this goes. Let's say hi to these people. Let's hear about advice.
Hey, you in the mask. You look like a clown.
Fuck you. It's a skull mask. I'm very cool.
My friend made it for me. Stop bullying me.
My friend who made like weird devices in in this brothel I'm going to. Alright. Okay, unbreakable door. Hello.
Slackjaw be waiting for you.
These people look incredible. And I love the cigarette smoke. Don't smoke, kids, but like, man, that's a cool cigarette. A cool smoke. I'm gonna eat your food.
Easy. You just need a bit. Ain't you heard? Slackjaw keeps the good stuff for himself. Rest of us get 1 part elixir, 3 parts water down. Oh, that's just to make the swallowing go smooth. Well, I ain't taking no chances on getting the plague. Drink till you drop. That's my motto.
So it's like Joe is stealing some stuff for himself, apparently. This art dealer Bunting is a man of taste. If anyone left in Dunwall has something worth stealing, it's him. So whoever opens the safe gets double the cut. Normal cut. It's like Joe. Nope. So this is a cool puzzle, but I just didn't. I've already done it, so I'm just gonna do it quickly so I can have all the valuables. Which I think is not as important for the Let's Play, but I just wanted to do it. Okay.
Oh wait, there's blueprints back there
Well.
on the bottom shelf to your left.
Okay. Yeah, that's very obvious.
To your right.
Incandescent paste.
Oh, I thought that was blueprints. Oh yeah, no, they are.
It is. You're right.
Good. Yay, I'm helping.
No, that's good. Like I found that it was the same thing before. It's almost like I have like. Oh, that's right. I actually saw this before. There's like ways through that I didn't notice. I have like weird like stream blindness that like whenever anything appears on screen, I just do not see it. Like Halcyon in chat can attest to the time that I was playing like nuts, and there was like a whole collectible thing that I totally missed every time it turned up because it was just like looking for other things.
You should go see Slackjaw near the still. He wants to talk about a job.
Okay. Like I just couldn't figure out where Slackjaw is. I still don't know where Slackjaw is, even though there's like a notification. Alright. Steal tables.
Are you supposed to be scary?
Yeah.
My men were right. You do look like a man out for murder.
I look like a clown, apparently.
Way I figure it, there ain't nobody worth killing around here except those two Pendletons over at the Golden Cat. I'm right, ain't I? See, Slackjaw knows. Them boys are twins. Rich, mean, and weird. Worse than most of their ilk. They've been laying low there a while, not sure why. There's a lot of security at the Golden Cat tonight, though. Special guests and the like. But you're gonna walk in there dressed like that and kill the Pendleton brothers? Maybe I got a better way to take care of them too. If you're doing something for me first, understand? Someone, I don't know who, is killing my men, taking my territory, stealing my goods. Might be a fellow named of Galvani. I sent my best man to investigate, but he went missing and, well, now I need someone to find what happened to him. Go to this Galvani's place. He lives nearby off Clavering Boulevard. You do that for me and I'll get you a better way into the Golden Cat.
So
His accent.
it's I think it's Jamaican,
A doctor they call him now.
or like West Indies, that kind of area.
Find out what happened to my man who vanished.
But yeah, he has an accent unlike everyone else in this
You want to make some
setting.
bootleg elixir for yourself? You go ahead. Can't have you catching me.
It's also really funny. We went to Galvani before. For
So embarrassing to admit, but after all the times I've played this, I've never realized you could actually fill up your own elixir here.
yeah, like this is like if you do the side quest where you like poison them, that's where you kind of like figure this out. I only figured this out by going through and I was looking for notes, and there's like a note here that like tells you. It's pretty straightforward. Turn the valve on. Attach an empty vial to the repeat until empty. But yeah. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Pressing all the wrong buttons. Okay. Oh, the seal is depleted.
Tapped out, yeah.
Shit. What kind of place do you call this? Yeah. So Galvani is who we robbed before. It's very funny. There's like, we kind of encounter him again in Dishonored 2.
Yeah,
and
he is like, again.
Yeah, he's like, people keep robbing me. It sucks. I hate this. And like, when you go back to that location in like the last mission of Dishonored 2, he's like, I've been robbed too many times. I'm leaving. I'm going to Morley. Like, I'm out of here. It's so funny. I like it a great deal. And like, he's being blamed for all these things, like responsible for these murders and so forth. But he's just like, I think he's just a guy who's like studying rats, and that's it. It's very funny. Oh, I got a bunch of charms that I didn't look at. That one. That's it. I'm not gonna mess with this too much. Alright, let's get out of here. So the current quest, in order to get Slackjaw's, like, what I'm doing is the non-lethal option, which is a lot worse, I would say, than the actual option. But I think it's kind of interesting, an interesting way of sort of like looking at it. Yeah.
So with this playthrough, are you doing anything different to your very first playthrough?
Yes, I can actually, like, I was gonna say that I can play as opposed to my usual one, but I've been extremely messy on this like stream let's play thing. But yeah, I like the first couple of times I played these missions, I didn't know there was a non-lethal option. Like, I straight up killed the Pendletons because I didn't know any better. And then when it came up later, like, it might have even when we get to like a much later mission, that I like finally figured out that I could do it, and like I came across it by accident. That's the guy's shop that we found before. But yeah, it's been interesting kind of going back and playing it myself, just so I can like notice all the weird shit that actually happens in this world, and like all these weird conspiracy theories that I can come up with, like Griff is a sorcerer. Get up! Get up! Ghost. Yeah, up here. But like, yeah, I don't think I ever did the Galvani missions, or I didn't really have like a strong idea who Galvani is. Like, I think like literally through doing this let's play and through like reading wikis and stuff that I've found this shit out. Can I get up there? Can I get up there? Nope. Okay. How cold? Yeah. And it's also like all right, so we should also note that at this current time we know that Lockjaw is interacting, like is being threatened by someone, some mysterious figure who we do not know whom, some kind of rival, who we're trying to investigate. And we just got hired by an old lady who is like a worshipper of the outsider, who might be involved in this. Who could say? So we'll unearth this mystery further.
Not a big deal. Maybe you can go up later and take a look after them other two are gone.
Where am I going? Where's the other one? Oh shit. See, this went well. I'm very happy with this. Uh-oh.
Elixir. Bunch of crap.
Excellent. Keep facing that way. That's great. Your fan's going off a little bit. It's not too
sorry,
bad, but
let me see if I can. I'll go turn it down. Give me 2 seconds.
that's okay. I think like the noise cancelling is just picking it up a little bit, which isn't a bad thing. But yeah, like there's things you can do with like the gain on your computer. Like I figured out a way to like adjust it so that like I can still have my fan on. Well,
It's
also,
all good. I just turned it down. Is that better?
I think they're dead.
yeah, that's good.
Cool.
I know that. I mean, do we have suspects?
Suspects? What? Suspects? We ain't gonna waste time solving who killed him. Personally, I'd buy who did it a drink.
But what are you gonna put on your report?
I'm gonna say we found one of Slackjaw's men inside, all dead and bloody, and that you are a stinking idiot.
Okay, so Slackjaw's man is dead. No hesitation. All right, let's see what this clue is. There's Jeff. this rune. So there's a rune here, a dead body in this place. I think that book which we've already read. A voice note. And like scattered rats which are around, which I don't think were around last time. And a bunch of strangely unconscious guards who we're not responsible for. Alright, let's just go out this way. So we're going to uncover the mystery of what occurred here. Who could say who's responsible? We do not know.
I bet it was Griff all along.
I bet it was Griff. Like, how does he get all that supplies, you know? Makes you think.
And he was near the rats.
He's near the rats. Well, not this time, but usually. I just love the idea of just, at the end of it, just like a number of flashbacks of like Griff involved in every instance of like anything happening. Like Emily
song, yeah.
Emily Coleman is around. How are we for bone charms? Okay. Where am I going? I'm going there. Okay. So we're gonna give
not
this.
to spoil.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not to spoil, but like, what do you prefer out of Dishonored 1 or Dishonored 2 in terms of like the gameplay?
In terms of the gameplay, Dishonored 2 is way better. Like, one of the things you'll notice, that I think I talked about before, is that look at all these weapons that I have. I can't use any of them because I'm being non-lethal. Like, Incendiary Bolt can't use, Crossbow can't use. Like, all this shit. I'm picking up all this shit. I'm not using a single one. And in Dishonored 2, and especially Dishonored Death the Outsider, they do give you like non-lethal options that are actually useful and interesting. But there's also like entire powers that I'm never gonna use. Like there's what's the one? I get adrenaline. I don't even know what adrenaline does. I have never used it in any of these games.
I think while we're here, you probably could upgrade one of those.
I should upgrade.
Yeah.
Should I upgrade? I have no idea. Dark Vision's not bad. I mean, they're all good. I don't think I need Vitality because I'm just not ever going to get hit ever. So I'm fine.
Sorry.
Huh?
I mean, Blink's good. I use Blink a lot.
Blink's good. Like, I'm finding...
That was one of the first things I upgraded.
I'm finding that I have come across like several instances in just this Let's Play where I'm just like, I can't reach that post. I need to get up to that post. So I'm going to get that one.
Good choice.
How many runes do I have? I have one rune. So if I get another one, then I can upgrade all the other stuff. Memories. There's Griff. What are you up to?
He's just standing there menacingly.
Yeah, he is the scariest looking guy too. Just a note. You're up to shit. Look at you. I also like. I just noticed it then. Griff's Curio Shop is just him standing here. This is his shop now. He like has a shop like down here. And he's just not using it. He has a chair. No stock, but
is
whatever.
It for sale? No.
No. My chair. Spent good money on this. Yeah.
Turns out Dishonored 3 is actually about Griff whole time.
I would love that. Like, who... I was going to say something that was a big spoiler, but I really shouldn't say that. I'm just sort of saying that Griff gets a very new and important role in the place of someone else.
What just occurred? How come it's always me who pay for the whiskeys?
Shush up your mouth. You know I can't work out the right number of coin. It's embarrassing.
I always found that very interesting. it was really fun, like at this moment, because like when I was playing this before, I was just like flipping through the wikia for this thing and trying to figure out like who is Crowley, who is this who is Granny Rags, like what is going on with all these strange conspiracies, and it was just so interesting. I just went on this like big rabbit hole down like who everybody is and like voice lines and all these kind of things, and the politics of this whole thing is just the coolest.
I too looked at the wiki, but just to look up trivia in case we had to do that again.
Oh yeah, and shout out any
Didn't wanna
trivia
watch
you
it.
find it, like please do. But just a moment, let's see a mob boss go in some mourning a little bit.
What's this? Information from my missing guy. Let's have a listen.
Slackjaw, it's me, Crowley. I'm making this in case I don't make it back. He was right. There is someone wants you dead. Wants to take over the distillery and the whole Bottle Street gang. And you'll never believe who it is either. At first I did. That's why it taken me so long. I wanted to be sure. What's that? No! No! Ah!
So Crowley's dead. Too bad. He was one of my best men. Still, you and me had a deal, and Slackjaw never goes back on a deal. Take this key. It ain't for the golden cat, no. This key is for the captain's chair. A hotel abandoned since the plague gutted this part of town. Take the stairs to the top. You can use the roof to get into the golden cat brother. See that? Slackjaw keeps a bargain. Just as good as the men who run the city. Maybe a little better. You think about that. Now maybe we can help each other out again. I could get rid of the Pendletons for you, quiet-like and without killing them. But you gotta do something for me in return.
Interesting. Tell me what you got in mind.
The cat's having a big reopening tonight. Lot of money clients, including an arts dealer named of Bunting. He's got particular tastes, or so I've been told by some of the ladies. Got some pretty fancy stuff locked away at his place, and the only thing preventing me from nabbing all that loot is the combination to his safe. Of course, the Pendletons have been camped out there for months too, not sure why. So that means a lot of the city watch and other soldier types. Bring me that combination, my masked friend, and then I take care of the Pendleton brothers, just like that. You ain't never even gonna touch them. And I promise, I won't kill them, and no one will ever see them again. Now if that ain't a deal, Slackjaw don't know what is.
And thus begins one of the weirdest side quests in this game. So ignore your shit. Yeah. So one of the things I really like about this is that like this game talks a lot about like how you shape the city and so forth. And I always just really I really liked how like Slackjaw is like sort of putting himself forward as like I can run this city better than like any of the authorities can, which from what we've seen they're all really corrupt and really awful. And like yeah, he is a quote unquote criminal, or he's a criminal, allegedly. And he's still like giving people elixirs and like selling it for a high profit margin or whatever, but he's still doing it. And like we had the option to kill this person before. We had the option to kill Slackjaw, and I'm like, I'm not sure what this mission looks like if we did that, but yeah, that's Slackjaw. There's also some graffiti I wanted to see where like it was like talking about how it might be in here about how like Slackjaw I think is like bisexual, and I just like saw that I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because I totally did not notice that like Dishonored touched on sexuality until like later games. Give me can't remember what it was, but yeah, that was a thing I noticed.
You didn't
I was like,
write it down during your notes?
I did write it down, but I'm like, I want to see it again so I can prove that it exists. There was also, I remember, like, the graffiti around here is just really cool. Like, there's like things like "bring us food, not bullets," and I'm like, that's kind of cool. It's like I played Umurangi Generation recently, and there was like a cool thing where they were just like, you know, cops come here to kill us, and there was like, that was one of the quotes here, and I'm like, this game is touching on similar things where it's just like, yeah, police suck, and they're just like coming here to just like rough people up, and yeah. And like stuff like this, which is just like cool, like world building stuff. Like Hatters fired the first shot, but Bottle Street gang fired the last, which is like, oh, there's some cool history going on here. Is there anything?
I always like the ones about the outsider scribbled around it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the shrine we went past just in case we miss something. Because I really like that shit. Yeah, I just love this game because of all the things that get built into it. And like talking back to like Dishonored 2 versus Dishonored 1 is that like my memories of the missions in Dishonored 2 is that they're so much more elaborate and there's so much more things going on. Like when we actually get to the mission here and we're gonna go through like the golden cat, it is extremely simple. Like it is like Selector just said that you can go in without touching him, and that's really easy. Like it's I went through it so quickly and so easily. Hello. Let's get up here. Oh. See if there's anything cool here. So I think I remember there's like Bottle Street Gang written on the floor. Blood from the eyes. I saw Selector with your mother. Yeah, I saw him with your father. That's the thing I was talking about before.
Oh, there we go.
It's just like,
Cool.
aha. Somewhere in my brain I knew that. Barker Street? Something? Yeah, so also remind me to check out the shitter under the bridge. It's very important to do that for some reason. I don't recall why. Alright. So let's go through the place to be unlocked. Although let's also see if we can get some bone charms. Which I think, like, honestly, we could probably skip them. I don't think they're, like, narratively interesting. I just kind of... I mean, it's fun to explore the level design. That's my excuse. But yeah. Yeah. All is well.
How does it work? What? The wall of light. Isn't it a wonder? It's one of Sokolov's latest inventions. They say the idea came to him in a vision. I know you're here somewhere, scum.
Ah! Okay.
Ooh.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. All is well, all is well. Stop shooting. I got an achievement last time I did this because I avoided 5 people. Oh shit! There's a tower up there. Oh, I didn't mean to press that, but that works. Ah! Shit. You saw nothing. And it's like, yeah, like I have these tools which I'm never going to use. Okay.
Help me find
I'm just gonna skip them. Oh no. Oh, it's directly beneath me. That's where I'm supposed to go.
Attention, citizens of Dunwall. The Lord Regent has ordered strict whale oil rationing in this area. Failure to comply will result in... Here you are.
Oh, God.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Uh oh. Let's just keep running.
Rats?
I think they're getting eaten by rats. Should I stay? Should I go? Let's go. I think last time I played it was the same stuff, that it was just like so many people. I was just like, run really quickly. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like, they will be here if I go out this exit again. Like, even if it's in like 30 minutes or something. They will still be hanging out there. Playaway options. The upcoming area is riddled with passageway that allows many approaches to accomplishing your mission. Look for overhead ledges, rat tunnels, water passages, and hiding places. We know. Okay, here is where I would do my content warnings. There's stuff about, you know, suicide in here. There's this stuff about just bad stuff like kidnapping. It's a rough area. Yeah. I'll just There's a conversation I wanted to hear. Hold on. It's rough. Yeah. So this is the gold cat thing, where the main thing going on here is there's a bunch of like guards on duty, and like women, like sex workers come up to them and just like, hey, I'm trying to make a living too, or whatever. And the guards are like, oh, I'm working, or whatever. And yeah, there's like bad stuff with the heart. I don't like it, to be honest. I think I might just skip over it. It's a rough kind of thing that I don't think is particularly like sympathetic or pleasant to go through.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
There are topics that can't be avoided, but we don't need to go into full depth into them. Yeah. It's a dark level. It's a dark world.
It's a dark level, and the women in here don't have much agency to speak of. Like,
yeah,
they're really like stuck in this position, which is like, yes, this happens.
It's an interesting contrast. Like, you see the overseers kidnap, you know, young boys to indoctrinate them, and then these women, you know, get shipped off here. Like, as long as, you know, you're a lowborn, there aren't that many prospects.
No, and that's like, you know, that's a very common thing, and it's. I think eventually we will actually meet someone here who's highborn, and that's like a notable like thing. But it's like a lot of this thing is just like these women are like trapped here and can't like dream of escaping, and it's just like, it's rough, and it's a weird way to depict like this kind of thing. And yeah. Whoop.
Lost track of him again.
Morgan's in the steam room downstairs tonight.
Is it safe in there? Because I've heard rumors. If one of them gets hurt, I'll lose my job.
Oh, that's just the girls talking. It's nothing. Pressure builds up in the pipes and, well, it almost never happens. I'll make sure they never mention it again. Anyhow, Morgan insisted to be in the steam room.
So Morgan's downstairs in the steam room. Custis is hanging out to talk with women, and that's a very strange thing, apparently. I'm gonna knock this person out. Stay. I'm gonna eat some fruit.
Please don't kill me.
Alright, so Mr. Bunting is with Betty in the Silver Room, second floor. We have a key. The person in charge is knocked out already. A thing that's really interesting is that she has all these elixirs like stashed away, which is kind of cool. There's like some things later on which talks about like how she got a hold of these things, and I really like that. Like there is explanation for every little thing in the room. Where is this? Did you see where that item was? It said like 11 meters, but oh, there it is. Welcoming host. You can possess white rats for longer. I don't, so that's that. Like, there's a woman here. I'm gonna take this bone charm. Whoop. Eat some food, close the door. And look, like, immediately we found Emily.
Aww.
Corvo, it's you! You're wearing a mask to sneak around, aren't you? They told me you were head chopped off and in prison dead, like Mother. That seems like a long time ago. But you're not dead. Now we can leave. I have a plan. I almost got away twice.
Almost got away twice.
Come and go for special people, and I'll show you. And if anyone tries to stop us, you can fight them.
Boy.
This way.
So like I'm gonna listen to the heart a little bit. There's like all these stories and all these things about how difficult it is to escape in this little setting. And Emily tried to escape twice and succeeded on the third time, like immediately. Look at this. There's like a door to leave immediately.
The door
Like,
is locked. Unlock it so we can get away from this place.
all we need is a key and we're out. And it's so weird that like this whole place is laid as this inescapable, hard to escape place, and they can just like leave this door at any time. And I'm wondering if it is something to do with like Emily has somewhere to go. She can leave, and like she's the Empress pretty much, so she can just leave and have like a future there, whereas other women might not. But it's like,
Interesting thought.
I don't know. It's weird for me. Anyway,
I think it also just shows like her spirit too. The fact she has just tried to escape twice.
yeah, and it's just like, why does she have spirit but the other women do not? Like, why is there that distinction? Like, what is so special about Emily that allows her to get away from this, whereas like other women are kind of trapped in there? And like we're gonna walk around and see like a bunch of very sad scenes, and like, you know, like the heart can like say stories of like like attempted suicide and stuff like this, and it's just like tonally it's kind of weird, and it's I don't know. Anyway, here's some crates. Elixir Delivery. This is the week's supply of elixir. Tell your ladies to drink up, but the boss says we have to get coin in payment. No more trades, Craxton. So this is basically the golden cat gets elixirs, like is applying elixirs to this place, even though this place is like run by the like all the rich aristocrats. And there's like a line in here which is like kind of like a shitty line. It's like only the rats spread the plague faster, and it's weird. It's a weird thing to have, and it's weird that they don't have any resources.
Did you hear what that little girl did? No. She's cute. Amy or Emily or something.
She tried to escape. Somehow she found the VIP exit.
Really?
Yes, Prudence keeps it locked now, and she carries the only key.
Why is she here anyway? Is she some niece of the Pendletons?
No idea. They keep her hidden away.
Yeah. And there's also a thing, like, if you encounter any of these women, like, they just cower from you and you have to knock them out or something, or they call for guards, and it's just like, this sucks as an interaction. I dislike that a lot.
Yeah, you handled that room before you saw Emily really well.
Yeah.
To knock her out.
I have done that mission before, and it sucked, because it's just like, I wanted to see the world without
When I told you about it, you realize
messing with these women or knocking them unconscious, because it just sucks.
she's different. She really likes me.
Idiot. She likes your money, not you.
You're just jealous.
Shut up.
I want to try and meet with the art dealer.
I told her to keep the children inside.
The Pendletons are here.
You're supposed to be on duty. You're supposed to be on guard. You'll get dismissed for sure. I can't believe this. You said you weren't even drunk. Wake up.
And like stuff like this, like what's this about? Just sadly dancing in the middle of this room and no one else is around. It's just like, ugh, very bleak. Let's see who's around. Okay. So now we basically do one of the weirdest side missions there is.
Yeah, very awkward scene.
Loud. Have you gained a little weight, Connor?
Ugh.
Now, just like last time, understand? Slowly. I'm only triggering the shock at my command. Get it? And the safe word tonight will be retribution, I'd say. You hear that? You stop. One shock out of line and you are out of a job. Oh, that's good. I deserve that one. Shall I tell you why? The Pendletons are here, right? I'll stop
What a
them.
fucking...
I cheated them, robbed them of thousands. Ruthless. Don't hold back. I'll tell you
I
everything.
hate this. This sucks.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Retribution. Retribution.
And this bit, I hate more.
All my servants.
Like, I'm gonna just keep zapping this man.
We're done, I said. Retribution.
Who is this man? I don't know who this person is, and yet I'm like zapping this person to...
What the? Who is this? What do you want?
The combination of your safe.
The safe. Yes, of course. The combination is 696. Take anything you find. I think I felt my heart skip.
And I think if I do that again, I kill him, so I'm not gonna do that. So I can basically leave now. And that's basically the mission. Like, even if, like... I might go and, like, see some Pendleton stuff, but, like... It's such a weird level that I can just go now and this is finished. Do I have the key? What was my objective? Where am I looking?
You did loot the owner, so you might just have to
I already have it, but I'm
door.
not. Was that her door? Oh, so now we can just like unlock it and leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, like should I just continue like checking out this thing? Like what I did last time was I just like knock these people out and like talk with them. I don't know if much else really happens with them, to be honest. Like it's basically like there is one conversation down here that I want to kind of do, but not much else.
Pendleton twins are an interesting bunch.
I suppose they just suck.
Morgan will be in there all night. More coin for us. Though we'd make even more if they didn't blow it on prostitutes.
My cousin's a foreman at their mine. He says the slaves have dug half a mile down, so deep they're dying by the dozen from collapse or fumes. But the silver's almost gone.
What are they going to do?
Looks like they're gonna gamble and drink every night till it's gone, then jump in the river.
And dark.
Sorry? What was that?
They state that the conservative position gets an extra 3 votes.
But not in the month of Timber.
Is that true? How on earth do you know that?
Did you think I was born a courtesan, Lord Pendleton? I was a clerk to Lord Estermont before.
Whatever happened to old Estamon?
The rats did. An
Should've
old
gathered
sewer
for
line
whiskey
led
and
under
cigars
his
tonight.
office in
Indeed,
Parliament, and
I
one
believe
day it
so.
flooded, and they all came rushing out. They say the other lords barricaded him in to save themselves. The screams lasted hours. He begged and called them by name, but they let him die.
So here we have a woman who used to be like a prominent like civil servant and is now in the brothel because of that. And yeah.
And like, how gross is his disgust that he's like, or his like shock that he asked how she knew that.
Yeah.
Like he just sees her as like, you know.
Yeah, and like here is the thing I could do. I could turn the steam up and kill both of them, and it's just like, no.
But hey, you found $1.
I found $1.
Things are bad. Could the city get any worse?
Yeah. Like the main thing that's really interesting about like Dishonored is like the small conversations you sort of uncover as you wander around. Like
Makes the world feel more interactive.
yeah. How can I fucking let me get this? Come on, you stupid. Where is everybody? There's him. You can probably get here.
They're talking about Corvo.
Yeah. You get that mask if you see a Weeper. It's kind of fun. There's also conversation I want to find.
Intriguing that the City Watch seems to know who Dowd and his whaler gang is,
Yeah.
but they don't seem to question whether Corvo was like guilty or not.
And like the weird thing, I mean, Emily doesn't know that I'm alive, but I guess she's kind of sheltered. I was gonna say like maybe it's not common knowledge that is that.
was good timing.
I want to have this conversation.
Enough coin. I could make you forget your own name.
So that was like an interesting conversation where like it was like talking about memory, like in this place, about like how you can forget a lot in this world and how you can remember it. Like there's some things you can never forget. And I don't know, it was just a cool bit of writing that I liked.
Me, but I think your audio is going a little bit quieter than the rest of the game.
Okay, I'm gonna adjust that a little bit. Hello, hello, hello.
Sorry, it might be me. Maybe it's a Discord thing.
It could be. Let me know though. Did it like just something happen, or has it been doing that consistently?
No, I just noticed it now. I might see if I can turn you up.
Okay, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna have a listen to the stream, see how I sound.
Does it? Apologies. It's just
No, that's okay. It's good to pick that up.
Okay, yeah, I
It sounds okay.
Fiddled with it on Discord. Yeah, might have just been me. My bad.
Yeah. Okay. That's working. Okay, so I'm gonna try and see how Pendleton, the other Pendleton is, and then I'll just head out and I'll let Thinger deal with him. Whoop. Yep. Oh wait, Morgan's there. Alright, fuck. I got confused which brother was which. Look at this weirdo. I didn't notice that last time.
Just being a peeping Tom.
Yeah, what a creeper. On your way.
So not to distract you in a tense, stealthy moment.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about like non-lethal options versus the option to just kill people?
It's kind of weird because like a lot of these people you should just like hold on. I'll come back to this.
Anyone you want.
Sorry, loaded question.
I oversee
okay.
for all I care. Never been this drunk.
Some of my friends say I look like Lady Boyle.
Waverly? That lucky trollop. If I'd found those crystal deposits on my estate, I'd be throwing parties too. I'd be buying the Lord Regent's favor too instead of begging for money from my cousins.
I didn't mean to upset you, my lord.
Wait. On second thought, maybe you should dress up like her. Yes, I think I should like to teach her a lesson.
I would be glad to, my lord. Would you like me in white or black? Or red, perhaps?
Let me think about this. Waverly did always like black. Or was that Lydia?
Okay, that was a fun thing. One of the things that Harvey Smith said about this game is it was like indulging the fantasy that with like with killing a few people you can change the world, which is not how the world works. And it is weird to go through this game in non-lethal ways. Like in a way it's kind of like just standing back and doing nothing and kind of letting these injustices kind of go by. Like, what's going to happen after I've done this thing? I've come into this place. I found a madam who was mistreating like the people who work here. The guards here, the few I've encountered, I've just knocked out. They're going to wake up and just be fine. The only thing that's really going to change from me being non-lethal is that Custis Pendleton and Morgan Pendleton, something bad's going to happen to them, and that's it. So like 2 members of Parliament like are going to be dealt with. These guards are still going to go around their jobs. You know, like ignoring the laws they're supposed to enforce, coming into places and roughing them up, and that's just going to continue. Like, I'm not going to be any like changing this thing. With the madam, she's going to continue running it as it was. And like, yeah, like what difference does Corvo actually make in the situation? And it's and what am I doing this for? I'm doing this so that like I can rescue my rescue Emily, and that she can be free, and that's a good thing. And I am. Oh, your fan's still making noise again.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. And I'm gonna get Trevor Pendleton, I think his name is. I'm gonna get him in power, and he is my ally, so he is good. But like the slave things that he owns, and the failing like fortune he has, which will lead him to be increasingly more rubbish. That's just gonna continue, and like nothing's really going to change. And I think to a certain degree, nothing's really going to change. Like Corvo is put forward as this person who is like a person who changes the history of Dunwall, and who's going to make big changes, as the conspirators all tell me. And it's just like, ultimately, what do I change? And the answer is very little.
That is a really great point.
Yeah, and it's just like, and like even if I played this lethally, I don't know how much would change. Like, would it be more change than like this if I killed everybody in this building? How much could I systematically change in this setting? And like this is a game that is like better than many other games in that like this is an RPG where you can basically influence the world and change endings and change all kinds of small things by decisions I make. But I don't know, there's a limit to that. And like I think, you know, as Corvo Atano, the royal protector. No, I'm not the royal protector. I'm like the Queen's bodyguard. I'm still doing not as much as I could be doing. And I am sort of like, I'm trying to reinforce the status quo in a big way. And it's kind of interesting. And like this game for the next like few installments is just going to be like following the royal family pretty much and seeing how they do things. And it's going to be like someone disrupts the throne and then someone else tries to get back on the throne and then it gets put back to normal, and that's basically it. And yeah, that's my thoughts on non-lethal stuff.
Thank you for that. It's a really good angle I hadn't really considered before.
How about you? I'm like, I had a big rant.
No, that was good. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always looked at like non-lethal options from like, because of my writing I had to, but like I always thought of it as like an interesting moral irony. Like, yeah, you're not killing people, but you're torturing them and you're blackmailing them and ruining their lives, which deservedly, you know, some of them really do deserve it. But to me, sometimes I mean, now you're getting into moralities and murder, but like sometimes non-lethal options seemed somehow worse sometimes, especially with like with the second game. Some of the things you can do in that, I was a bit like, oof. Like, I won't spoil it, but one of the things you can do to a character in that really sort of was twisted.
And like even this game, I just traumatized a random art man. I don't know who this man is, but like that guy's just gonna be like, this sucks. This whole experience is just dreadful.
Yeah.
Like, why did I do that? I don't know.
Like, to be fair, you know, sending the Pendleton twins to their silver mines is pretty poetic, but then again, you're right, you're not changing the fact that there is a silver mine operating with slaves.
But like on a personal level, this game like changes everybody's life. Like anyone who comes in contact with anything to do with this is just like terribly messed up by it.
Yep.
Which is like, I don't think this game
no real innocence in this world.
No. Yeah. And it's kind of like the writers know this, that like everything you do is kind of terrible. But I don't know, it's kind of weird because like everyone is also like depicted as very like they're kind of like multifaceted, so they have good parts and they have bad parts.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, and that ties back to like the high and low chaos too. Like,
yeah,
you know, everything you do is going to be bad in some way.
yeah, and it's also like it's weird because like sometimes it's like, oh, killing is universally wrong, which I don't think is accurate in this universe. Like, you can killing some people actually is a good thing, and that doesn't make things worse. But yeah, it's complicated, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Very heavy topic for a 3-hour stream. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just over the 2-hour mark, but we're further than I thought it'd be.
Oh no, I mean usually you go 3 hours. So.
Yeah.
Don't
I try to do
time making you philosophize.
No, this is the kind of thing I wanted to do this game for.
Don't worry about me.
Awesome.
And she just guessed it would be at the boat. She's cool. But yeah, that took no time to do. It was such a weird level because that was just like incredibly easy, and like compared to like missions that come into Dishonored 2 is not as interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, Dishonored 2 absolutely steps up like the puzzle aspect, which is great and frustrating.
Yeah. We meet an old friend.
Come on. Come to dinner now. That's right, my sweet little birds. Come to Granny. Granny won't hurt you. It's good to see you again, dear. But don't dally, or that young girl might fall in the river.
What is your angle?
Threat?
Like, okay, so she is working with the Outsider either on her own initiative or something else to take over the Bottle Street gang. And she's threatening Emily? Like, what's the deal there? Like, because like I like presumably the is that a book? Let's see if there's a cool book. The Outsider. Probably with that. So like we have been presumably like this whole mission is a result of the Outsider's influence on the like the rebellion doing their own thing, the loyalists trying to save Emily, and they prayed to the Outsider and summoned me. So is she just like grumpy at the Outsider or something? I don't know. Fuck. Bye. Where am I going?
Hopefully away from the Weepers.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to check out something under the bridge too.
Oh yeah, what was that all about?
Slackjaw thing.
I'm looking
Is
for a
it the
toilet.
bridge here, or?
I don't know. I think last time I played this, I didn't find it. Tell me if you see a toilet. There's a crapper under the bridge. I don't think it's this bridge. If you could you see if like killing the Weepers actually like lowers my chaos? Not that I want to kill them, but just like I want to see like what this game considers morally correct and what it considers like wrong or whatever.
No, they do raise chaos if they're killed.
Okay. Because I was wondering whether it's like a thing where it's just like, oh, we have to destroy the infected to reduce the infection, or something like that. But it's interesting that they don't. I know that like killing animals doesn't, but yeah.
I think it's because they're still technically alive, like they're still citizens.
So I feel like this
But you can, yeah, like you said, the animals are fine.
Yeah. I'm grateful that they didn't do that. So this is a bridge. Where's the... This is the bridge. Where is the toilet? This must be it, right? I have no idea. I don't think it's too important, right? We don't want to see the toilet treasure.
Probably don't want to run into those weepers again. I think it might be there, but
yeah. I feel like it went to the wrong direction too. I don't think Samuel's here anymore. Oh no, I'm wrong. Hey Emily.
I met your friend Samuel. He's going to show me how to steer this boat.
She's so cool! She's just like immediately here and just like, I'm already gonna learn how to steer a boat. Very cool, very curious. I like that.
very good at compartmentalizing, that girl.
Yeah.
She is, until you had a chance to do whatever it is you're gonna do with the Pendleton Lords. I swear on my life she'll be safe here with me.
She's kind of like she's in like a girls on adventure kind of thing where she's like just doing like she's like a Nancy Drew. Like in the middle of this in the middle of this horrible world, she's just like, I'm gonna solve a mystery and I'm gonna escape from these terrible people. And here's a boat. I'm so excited. I'm gonna learn how to escape and stuff. And it's just really cool. Can I leave?
Remember what I told you?
Oh, I just think it's like Joel still.
A man what knows the ins and outs of this.
Yeah.
I felt like I was forgetting
the
something.
code. Did you know that you can actually rob that safe?
Yes, I know. I heard about that. And it's like
That was the trivia I found.
Yeah. Read
Just
what
thought I'd
happens
drop that in very casually.
when that happens. What happens? What's the result of that?
Nothing bad happens with Slackjaw or cause Corvo a cheat. Stealing from him.
I would never.
I would never steal from a man who talks about himself in the third person.
Does he talk about himself in the third person?
Yeah, he does. He calls himself Slackjaw.
I'd never noticed that. He's like Elmo.
Dunwall citizens, a mandatory whale oil ration is now in effect. Non-compliance is a punishable offense.
He's pretty cool. I think overall I kind of like Slackjaw. I think he's kind of shitty in that he's like, you know, profiting off of this like plague by just being like, here's my watered down elixirs, pay all your money, but like I like him better than who's in charge currently, which is not a great way of figuring out. But yeah. Hey Griff.
Looking for something special?
Let's see what you scavenged. Let's buy some sleep darts, I need those. Leave you to your nefarious deeds.
If it's something I read or heard in the game, but isn't one of the reasons Slackjaw it's like watered down elixirs is spreading the plague too?
I didn't think so. I think like
people aren't getting the full dose.
No, like people are like fine. Like these people are fine because of that. He's having the full doses or something.
Might have just been something I read somewhere.
There was the mission before was to infect the Bottle Street gang with the plague.
That was Granny Rags.
That's what Granny Rag was doing, which might have been what that is, but yeah. And people are just like they don't know if the elixir actually helps you. I think that's a thing that people aren't entirely sure of. It's kind of just like no one's really for sure. One of the things I like is that like Piero's mixture like mechanically does not do anything for the plague. Like it doesn't help anyone. Like it doesn't help me get my health back. It just like gives me more like void abilities. And so it's very funny to me that everyone's just like, oh, this could work just as easy. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything. And I enjoy that.
I do like that they use like plague cures or elixirs to justify Corvo's like replenishing of his health and skills.
Yeah, and like
that was a neat touch.
How it's just everywhere, like how we encountered it with the madam.
Yeah, exactly.
In that place. Like, why is that there? Here's some rats. What are you doing here? Could it be to do with a certain grandma?
I'm telling you, it's Griff.
It's Griff. It's all just smoke flags. I love that because there was that thing that Crowley said, which is just like, you know, you'll never believe who it was.
I'm telling you.
And like everyone can believe
it's gonna come down to him.
Yeah, no one's gonna believe it was Griff. I can't believe it. This weird-looking man. All right. Just straightens
Those
up.
dope suspenders on.
Yeah, I love the fashion in this game. Good fashion. I can't wait till we go to like a really fancy party and see what's going on there. But yeah, this is the combination to the art dealer's safe.
You brought me the numbers. I've been after this combination for months. If you ever need steady work, you come see me. Slackjaw knows a good man when he sees one. It's only natural that you be curious about what I intend to do with the Pendletons. See, the Pendletons got these rock mines. Have hundreds of souls working down there half a mile deep below ground. So I'm gonna shave their heads and cut out their tongues and put them in one of their own stinking mines. Then they're gonna see life from a different angle.
So it will change their life on a personal level, but it will not change the system. Like Slackjaw, you should free all those slaves. That's the thing you should do. You shouldn't be cool with this. Slackjaw, you have terrible posture.
Like Wallace leaning back on the wall.
Yeah. But that was Wallace just acting cool, I think.
How strong is this belt that he can just strap his liquor to him?
Strap a liquor and a sword. Actually, he has 3 belts. It's important to note.
Yeah, well, that belt isn't for like his, you know.
It's his whiskey belt.
His overalls there. He's got his suspenders for that. Yeah. This is his weapons belt. It's
One
just a
volley of
coincidence that
pants.
it's fashionable.
Yeah.
Oh, Halcyon had lunch. What'd you have for lunch, Halcyon?
Yeah. Do you have any tea? I'll wait your answer. Do you want to read this one? And remember,
Sure.
it's time for an accent.
Yes. Excerpt from a letter found in an empty house at the edge of the Rudshaw Financial District. Should it be like a Cockney one, or...?
It should be absolutely a Cockney one.
Sorry to anyone who is has a Cockney accent. It's gonna be bad.
I don't think anyone watching has a Cockney accent. If you do, shout out in chat. Let us know.
Thank God. The looting started in the warehouse.
That was great!
Once enough men took sick with the plague, the companies had to suspend operation. My husband, is it Malkish?
Malkish.
It's a little blurry. Malkish was with the Meerson Tobacco Leaf Company, which closed last year during the month of Clange. He ran the fire boxes at the main curing horn. Malkish always said, oh sorry, this is really blurry.
Yeah, I'm trying to up the
Okay,
quality.
there, it's cleared.
The stream's gonna get bad for a bit.
It worked now. Gracias. Malkish always said flu curing made the sweetest leaf. Sickness hits the tobacco men the hardest because of all the smoking. They ran with a small crew for a while, but around the time my husband got sick, the fires were put out and the tobacco sat rotten. Somehow the thieves knew and started stripping the place. Later they moved on to houses. Bastards.
I completely was not paying attention. I was just paying attention to the accent. But
It started going a bit weird there.
yeah, you got a bit
I'm not
American. It was like
I'm not one for accents.
it was good. I like the voice.
Oh, thank you.
So what happened? What's the summation?
Her husband worked at a factory with a tobacco leaf company, and it got shut down. And he said that the fire made the sweetest leaf. The curing made the sweetest leaf, but sickness hit the men that worked there, so the plague.
Yeah, so they had to evacuate.
Yeah, they all got sick, basically.
Yeah.
And thieves started stripping it down.
So it was like a lockdown happened, and then like a gang found in and like robbed all the tobacco.
All right, you can probably drop the quality back down. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't want to interrupt the stream again.
Okay, I'll adjust it as is. We have an update on Halcyon's lunch. First of all, Halcyon says his belts aren't there to hold the pants up. Which is
exactly.
very fun. Let's
Exactly. His suspenders are for that.
Yeah, that's entirely true.
Told you, it's just fashion.
What the fuck are you doing? There's a belt shortage, you know. Halcyon says, I always have tea. I had potatoes with hot sour cabbages and Bays peons? Food words are hard. What is Bays peons? Bees peons? That's how the Germans would say it.
Google says quark.
Oh, quark.
Fresh dairy product.
I have had conversations with Halcyon about the various ways people discuss like weird dairy products and how like every country has a different one. Like I think we were talking about like thick cream, which is just like thickened cream, but there's also heavy cream in America, and there's like 100 like there's just England, Australia, and America. They have like 3 different words for just the same thing. But yeah, when it comes to like dairy products, no one can agree on what to call it. That sounds like a good lunch. I had pasta. It was very good.
I had pizza.
That'd be good. What kind of pizza?
Pepperoni, and I had a little aioli to go over the top.
I thought you said ale. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Pizza and ale.
Pizza and ale.
Yeah, could you imagine?
I don't know.
I'm trying to be healthy, but I just felt like pizza's not.
Is ale the same as beer?
Isn't it made with a different kind of hops or something instead of like yeast?
That man just
Maybe?
spat
I
on
don't know.
I don't know.
Oh look.
What does the Dishonored wiki say about
beer.
it?
The major difference between the types of beer comes down to the type of yeast used to ferment it. Oh, look at that! I'm a genius.
That's
A
cool.
beer can qualify as either a lager or an ale, depending on the fermenting process.
Alright.
There we go. Hope you enjoy that.
That's cool.
Twitch stream.
Does it say whether it's good with pizza? Is there like an opinion about this?
Dunwall citizens, this
Is ale good with pizza?
I love Twitch. It's very good.
Lightly hopped ales and lagers go best with a good cheese pizza. The mild bitterness will accentuate the cheese saltiness, while balancing the sweetness of tomato sauce and cleansing the palate between slices.
Good to know. Wow, that person totally missed me. I do not know how. What the fuck is this? What? By the way, I don't know if you saw that, but I just like literally.
Was there a bone charm in there?
Yeah. So I think it is. Oh fuck! Oh shit! I'm getting shot at again. Fuck! Take that. Oh no! I'm back.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
I think it's here.
We run up to the top of the stairs.
I might have to. There it is. Jump,
Well
jump,
done.
jump, 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 jump.
Leave us alone. Go away. Go away.
Is it a crime to walk around with a heart, with the heart of the Empress?
whiskey for a week if you kill him.
Crimes of passion.
All is well. Oh god. Close. Where'd I go? Oh, how mysterious. I have vanished. Oh, Jesus, where is why is everyone here?
They were waiting for your return.
Yeah,
Like you said.
that's sensible, I guess. How do I get out of here? You can't follow me down here. Only the poor may live here.
Oh.
We'll climb up walls or whatever the Lord Predictor says.
Halcyon said that lightly hopped ale is an ale that has only ever vaulted over very low obstacles.
Halcyon
True.
always does this, and I hate it.
I appreciate a person that knows good puns.
Yeah.
Jokes. Big
Who
fan.
measures whiskeys in units of time anyway? Whiskey.
The
Oh,
Irish.
Wisley. What do you mean? Was that a reference to something? Explain the reference there, Halcyon. I feel like I missed the context.
Attention, citizens of Dunwall.
Whoa, shit. What was that? Just land on a spike?
You jumped on the fence, yeah.
Whatever. It's your word against mine. Alright.
Roll the tape.
It's not like there's a recording or anything.
Absolutely not. We're just having a fun game between friends.
I control the archives, control the rules.
Don't tell me you're gonna censor me.
And I can't believe I teleported onto a fucking thing. Elsie says,
Professional assassin.
the guard said a week of whiskey for whoever catches him. A week of whiskey for whoever catches him. And Halcyon says, who measures whiskey in units of time anyway? Like, it's how much you lose, I think. As my understanding of whiskey goes. Alright. Hello, Emily.
Samuel and I were worried about you, Corvo. Ready when you are.
Okay.
Are you both ready to go? Corvo, you must have worked wonders out there in the city tonight. I can't believe my...
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
That's okay. Samuel, we will see. I personally think I didn't do much. But we will see. Holy shit. I did pretty good. I did not find much coins.
I have returned. Ooh,
Welcome
you did
back.
Really well.
Here's my stats. I got no alarms wrong, even though I was like found twice. Like multiple times.
Good job.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So yeah, so we'll just do the last little thing where we all come home and everyone's like, "Oh, welcome back, Corvo. You have changed the world." And then we're gonna go to bed and see The Outsider or something, and stop it there.
To me.
I love how the structure of all these missions are kind of the same. How it's just like you come back to the thing, you go to bed, and then it continues.
So you did the business, did you, Corvo? I'm not one to speak against my betters, Margaret, but if anybody ever deserved their fate, it was those Pendletons.
What business are you talking about?
Oh, grown-up business, girl. I mean, your ladyship. Forgive me.
It's okay. I've heard a lot of grown-up business on the Golden Cat.
Oh. I should concentrate.
Young Lady Emily, I'm Callista. I'll be caring for you and schooling you while you're with us.
Pleased to meet you.
As am I. Would you like to see your room in the tower?
Can I see it?
Yes, you may. You'll get to see it all. The entirety of the Hound Pits.
Good. I think I'll like it here. I'll go with Callista, Corvo. I'll see you later.
You do not fail to impress. Armed with a blade, you've changed the course of the city forever. And with the Pendleton twins gone, our own Lord Pendleton will assume their votes in Parliament. In one night, you've done more than most men do in a lifetime. I need to
No, I
speak to you
didn't.
soon. But for now, Lord Pendleton requests your attention.
Halcyon says in the chat, you ever think about how there's no reliable evidence that today is Friday? That we just have to trust that people kept good count since Fridays were established?
People did keep good count. That's why we thought the world was going to end in 2012.
Yeah. I think there's more evidence to like that thing. Because that was just like the Aztec calendar ending there, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, that's just all that was. But I've never really read anything about it, so I'm not sure I really know for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think that there's we socially agreed upon the idea of Fridays, and I think that's worth something. Like the way we societally just be like, okay, this is a Friday, even if it's like there's no such thing as Friday, really. I don't know where that came from.
Some days just feel like a Friday too.
Yeah, some days just feel like different days, which is a wild concept, to be honest. And then there's also things like time zones. Like Halcyon is in Europe. Ooh, TV no.
Yeah.
And
it's nearly Saturday for us.
It's nearly Saturday for us. So it varies. I haven't actually played this bit, so I'm not really sure what to do now. I think just like say hi to people. Let's say hi to you, and you'll talk about your cool devices. Hello.
Ask me for any gear you need.
Okay, I'll upgrade my stuff. I have no money. I did terribly with that mission. I can upgrade nothing. What happened?
Oh, you did buy those sleep darts.
I did buy the sleep darts. Shit. Fuck.
We're gonna have to rob the rich later on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what the next mission is. Ooh, ominous. You're gonna say something about the city, aren't you?
Corvo, the Loyalist conspiracy thanks you for your work. I don't know if I can. My own brothers. We never believed that you killed the Empress. It made much more sense that the Royal Spy Master, now the Lord Regent, was behind it, aided by some of his key allies. We spent a lot of money and exposed ourselves to great risk in getting you out of prison. But we did it because we believe that you're the one that can make the difference. Oh, and Havelock's looking for you.
Like, it's stuff I already know, but it's kind of interesting.
Where's Wallace? Wallace! You're promoted wherever you are. Head lackey. I suppose this means I'll have to have children, or else recognize one of my bastards.
You have amazing lines, Pendleton.
This will be a new beginning for the Pendletons. I'll make sure of that.
Get rid of your slaves.
Lord of Pendleton Manor. If Waverly could see me now.
Okay. Halcyon says, oh yeah, it's not about the arbitrariness of the sign here, more about the effort of keeping repeating time. Like, we have calendars and such to mark the passage of linear time, and even those who have been adjusted in the past 200 years. And even those have been adjusted in the past 200 years. But, like, who's making sure that we never skipped a Wednesday due to a scheduling conflict?
Oh
I
god,
suppose...
now I need a nail.
And a pizza. I guess the thing is just multiple people, right? It's just like people checking over everyone else's work and making sure everything's right. I never noticed that Wallace worked behind the bar.
It is a difficult time for the family. Perhaps we should not speak.
What? Wallace, what are you doing? What happened? I need to steal this. Oh. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Corvo. I'll be getting on with my work then.
I hope his lordship is taking this well. Pendleton, I mean. I do worry about the poor man.
Fuck Pendleton. Honestly.
All right, my friend. Martin's devised our next move. There's a footnote in Campbell's journal that tells us that the Lord Regent's mistress sat for a portrait of Sokolov, the painter and royal physician. He'll be able to give us her name. Sokolov lives on Caldwin's Bridge about half the time, out over the river. The catch is that I'm afraid you've got to head out right away while Sokolov is at his apartment on the bridge. Samuel can get you close to the bridge, but you'll have to find Sokolov. Bring him back here intact, and it'll enable us to make our next move. I I can't believe what you've done so far. Escaping from Coldridge, taking down the High Overseer, recovering Emily. You make this old military man proud. That's it then.
Okay, so I guess I don't nap.
It's amazing how many overseers you've been blackmailing. It really is the key to the Abbey.
Sokolov's unpredictable. And as head of the Academy of Natural Philosophy, he's an odd bird, to be sure.
Not that the streets around us are pleasant, but there's no rioting, at least. It's better that we're hidden here in one of the more desolated sections of the city. With Campbell gone, I've been pressing my remaining contacts within the Abbey. Talking to a loyal overseer I know. We'll see how far that takes us.
So he's trying to position himself to become the new overseer.
From what I understand, you'll be heading straight back out. I know you've got the stamina for it.
Intense stare. So yeah. They're all setting themselves up for doing this. And yeah. Okay. So instead of going to bed and speaking with everyone, I think we're going to finish it here. I will save the game so I can... Yeah, I'll just do that one. So I can jump into it next time. But yeah, that was the whole mission. That was longer than I thought it would. Like, it took me way longer to go through and check out the entire map or whatever. But I think next time we're going to play the Royal Physician and check all that out. And yeah, thanks for joining me, Nia. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you again for having me. It was really awesome watching you play through it.
Yeah, it's very cool, and it was less chaotic than last time.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, so I look forward to it. Thanks for being in chat. Halcyon, just before we go, says, all this to say City of Mars needs a weak keeper as a position, referring to the Blades in the Dark campaign we're doing together. And I guess I don't want to worry about time. I don't want to come up with a calendar. Fuck that. And Halcyon also says, how is that glass pane door an unbreakable door? Strong lock, I think.
Bulletproof glass. Absolutely.
Bulletproof glass, which is a common thing. Thanks, Sokolov.
Yep.
And yeah, that'll be that. Have a good day and night, and remember to have your pizza with ale.
Absolutely. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Ciao, ciao. And I'll reach over and see you later.